Welcome back everyone. In this lecture, we'll learn about the composite Laplacian mask, how to perform filtering on images, unsharp masking and high boost filtering, and then first derivative gradient operators like Sobel, Prewitt, and Roberts operator. And we'll also learn how to implement all these special enhancement techniques that we have learned so far. As we saw in the previous lecture, adding the original image to the Laplacian filtered image or subtracting it creates a composite Laplacian mask, which basically gives better results. So what's happening here is, so we have the original image P and we are subtracting Laplacian filtered image. So if the weight is negative, subtract. If the weight is positive, then add. So this is the composite mask that we are talking about. So this is 4 plus 1 5, or you can also have 8 plus 1 9 at the center. So this is plus 1 is what adds the original image to the Laplacian filtered image. So let us see the result of this. So this is the image from an electron microscope. Now if you apply the filter with 5 at the center, this one, look at the result. So it has improved a lot, and here the less sharp details have become much more sharper. Now if you use this mask, second mask, now you can see further sharpened. It is much more enhanced than the original image, or even the mask with the 5 at the center. So this is the use of a composite Laplacian mask. Now this mask filtering, the filtering process is same as that for uh, low pass filtering or the smoothing filters. So what we have is the input image like this, and then we use a filtering mask. So this is a composite Laplacian mask we are using here, and then we'll write the filtered output on a output uh, matrix like this, okay, output image like this. So basically we'll keep this filtering mask, okay. So if I want to filter 4, I'll keep this mask like this, okay, and then I'll filter. I'll write the output at this location. The 4 is uh, one row down and one column down, so this location I'll write the filtered value. And similarly to filter 3, I'll move the mask towards the right, one bit right, and then I'll basically like this, basically like this, okay, and then I'll write the new value here, whatever I get, okay. So this is how the filtering is done. So in order to illustrate it, so let us see the animation. First we'll get rid of these markings. So this is how it works. You keep the mask in the location and then replace it with the filtered value at the output. And then we fill up the total output. So mask, okay, that is the kernel, and this is the origin at the center. So if you want to filter 7 here, so in this illustration we are replicating the boundary pixels. Another technique is to fill up the zeros or append the zeros. Both techniques are fine. Let us visit this website again to see the effect of using the filter. So Statostar.io, this website. So I'm using this Laplacian mask with 8 at the center, and so basically the center pixel value is multiplied by 8, and all surrounding values are multiplied by -1, and then we take the sum of products. So let us see what happens with this filter. So I keep the filter mask here on the forehead, and you can see the pixel values are similar. The value varies from 174, 178 till 177. So all are in a smaller range, And if you multiply the kernel values -1, -1, -1, -1, and center pixel into 8 and all other pixels -1, and you take the sum of products, and you will get the answer as 3 as shown in the figure in the middle. And the result of using this filter kernel, Laplacian filter, will result in the image on the right hand side. And look at that red square, okay, on the right hand side. So that will be the output pixel location on keeping the kernel on the left hand side image like that. So because the values are similar, the output is darker here. So the value is 3. The image looks darker. Only edges are brightened. So let's explore for another location. So I'll move the mask to here, this position. Okay. So where we can see the hairline and the forehead. So hairline value, you can see here the kernel values, the sub-image value is 99, 91, 106. On the other hand, you have the pixel values 145, 170, 151, 162. Okay, so you have a large difference between the pixel values in the 8 neighborhood. So that means uh, you consider the center pixel here 160, and on the another side you have 99. There's a huge difference. Okay, and that difference will be amplified because you are multiplying it with the 8. So if you take the sum of products, the result will be 212. Now look at the right hand side image, uh, red square, that is a white pixel because the value is 212. So that is what's happening with the Laplacian filter. It is highlighting the edges. So edges will be turned, edges or points will be turned into white pixel, remaining all points will be turned into darker pixel values. Now if I switch over to sharpening filter, uh, which is basically the composite Laplacian mask with 5 at the center, okay, and 4 neighborhoods are -1, remaining are 0. Now if I keep it in the plane area, and if I use the mask, if I take the sum of products like this, you can see the result, it is 180. It's not making it dark, so it's retaining the plane areas as it is. Okay, so that is the difference between normal Laplacian mask and a composite Laplacian mask. And if I move it to the border here like this, now you can see the difference. Because it is edge, it is getting enhanced. Okay, so you can see on the right hand side that pixel is white, and it's basically, this image is much better than the Laplacian filtered image. So you can see the face here, it's retaining the original image, but only it's slightly highlighting the edges. Okay, so that is the advantage of using this composite Laplacian mask. And this is the basically this is the procedure to calculate for each pixel. uh, so you move the mask. So you can see here on the left hand side, I'm keeping it in the left hand side, top left, and as I move around, I get the pixel value for that. Okay, this is how we perform the problem, or solve the problem on image mask processing. Let us now understand the concept of unsharp masking, which was a technique developed for printing and publishing industry even before the advent of digital image processing. So when you had the analog techniques of capturing and processing the images, and when you wanted to print it on a newspaper, you wanted to make sure that the images were sharper and clear. So in order to do that, they used a technique in which they subtracted the blurred version of the original image, okay, from the image itself. So that is basically unsharp mask. We are using the unsharp version of the original image as a mask. Okay, that's why the name unsharp masking. So the definition is, or the to explain it, it's a process used for many years in publishing industry to sharpen the images. Basically, we are subtracting a blurred version of an image from the image itself. So you can express the process as S of xy is equal to f of xy minus f cap of xy, where uh, basically f cap of xy is the blurred version or low pass version, f of xy is the original, and fs of xy is the output or the high pass image. Further generalization of the unsharp masking gives us the high boost filters. So High boost filtering basically means we are amplifying the input image and then we are subtracting a low pass version of that image from the amplified image. So to put it into context, so it looks like this. So high boost version is basically amplified original image minus a low pass version. So this is the equation. So FHB of xy is equal to A into F of xy minus F dash of xy, which is the low pass version, and A is greater than or equal to 1. And if you simplify it further like this, A minus 1 into original plus original minus low pass, and in the equation also if you write like this, basically you are taking out the A minus 1, then simplify it further, and this is the equation that we get. F high boost of xy is equal to A minus 1 into F of xy plus F s of xy. This is the sharpened version of the image fs of xy. Now we can concentrate on this part fs of xy, and we can use a Laplacian in this in its place and further simplify the equation. Now if we choose to use the Laplacian, then we can we can express this fs of xy in terms of Laplacian, and then if we further simplify that previous equation, then we can arrive at this equation. F of hb is equal to a f of xy minus del square f of xy or plus del square f of xy. So this is if the center of the coefficient is uh, if the center coefficient is negative, we'll use this minus del square, or if it is positive, we'll use the plus del square f of xy to get the high boosted version. So this is how the filter looks. So a plus 4. So 4 is the Laplacian. If you just write 4, so you are adding a. Okay, so a plus 4. This is the boosting factor here. And again here for mask with the center as 8. So this is about high boost filtering and Laplacian. Now in this equation, if you make a equal to 1, then it basically turns into a unsharp mask. And if it is greater than 1, if a is greater than 1, the part of original image is added back to the high pass filtered image. Now this is the application of using that high boost filtering, and in the figure you can see this is the image of a lady, and this is an image of a stripe. And if you use the amplification factor of 1.4, you can see the effect. It has made the image a bit more lighter or brighter, and edges are also enhanced. You can clearly see the edges here in the background. Here it's blurry, and even the hair looks a bit blurry here, but here, so everything is sharpened, so every detail is appearing quite clearly. Okay, so that is the use of this high boost filter. And here also you can see this first strip here is not clearly visible. Okay, so once you perform the boosting high boost filtering with a equal to 1.9, you can see this first stripe is quite clear. Okay, and edges are also clearly defined. So here it's quite blurry here in this part, here it is enhanced. Okay, so this is the use of high boost filtering. So one more example of high boost filtering. So this is the blurred image, and if you use that high boost filter with Laplacian value a equal to with amplification factor a equal to 0, you basically get a Laplacian filtered image. Only edges are shown here. But if you use the Laplacian filter with equal to 1, so you are adding back the original image. So this is the result. Slight improvement is there in the edges. But if you boost it with the amplification factor of 1.7, look at the result now. The darker regions in the input image have been uh, illuminated, or basically they have been brightened, and even the edges are quite clear here. So this is the advantage of using a high boost filter. The sharpening filters that we discussed till now are based on second derivative operators. Now we'll see the use of first derivative operators. So these are the first derivative operators. So we can have Roberts cross gradient operator. So with the setup like this, or we can have pivot operators. First one is a horizontal line detector, second one is a vertical line detector, or also we can have a Sobel operator, which is similar to pivot in operation, okay, with horizontal line detection and vertical line detection. Okay, so let's see the working of these things with some examples. First operator we'll discuss is the Sobel operators. So this to compute dou p by dou x. So this is a vertical edge detector. So this mask moves along the x-axis uh, or detects the edges along the x-axis, and this detects the edges along the y-axis. So to compute dou p by dou y. So so if you have this test image as input, now if you apply the first operator, this is a vertical edge detector, okay, and this is the horizontal edge detector. Now let us see the difference. So you observe this grain, okay, rice grain, and see, if you apply this vertical edge detector, it hardly has any vertical edges. So the detected part is means it's still pale. But if you apply the second filter, see, this grain has more edges or more prominence here, okay. And another example, so you consider one more grain, yeah, like this one. It's vertically aligned almost. Now the result here is it's more prominent and it's clearly visible. But on the second filter, it is not so clear. Okay, so this is the result of applying this vertical and horizontal edge detector. We'll go through all these filters when we discuss the last module, okay, where we have the application of all these sharpening filters. We can combine the effect of horizontal and vertical edge detector using this gradient magnitude operator here. So it's basically a Sobel gradient magnitude operator. Now, if you have this image is of a contact lens, and you want to identify the defects in it. And if you observe this image, it's difficult to tell what's happening or where is the error. But if you apply this gradient magnitude Sobel operator, Sobel gradient, you get this image and you can see a defect in this place. Okay, this is the reason why it is used in industrial inspection. So a gradient image emphasizes the edges. So one more example of gradient operator. So we saw this example earlier of this rice grain. Now you can see here, this is the horizontal line detector, this is the vertical line detector, and you can see the gradient operator gives the combined effect of both these operators, and it's quite clear in detecting the edges. So let us combine the spatial enhancement methods that we have studied till now. Uh, uh, so this is the input image. This is a whole nuclear scan image of a bone, whole body scan, and the goal is to enhance this image. So first step, we'll take the Laplacian of this image using the Laplacian filter. So we can extract the edges. Now if you subtract this B from A, you get the enhanced version like this. Now if you take the Sobel filter of scan A here, then you get this output, okay, which is a somewhat sharpened image of the version of the input image. Now if you further take that and you smooth that Sobel filtered image, you get this image. And then if you basically multiply C with E, you will get this image. Next version, uh, if you add first image A and F, this image with A, you will get this image as output. And finally, we are going to do power law transformation on that image, and that will result in this image. So this is the output image after we apply all these spatial enhancement methods. So if you compare the original and the final images, you can see the output image is quite good in terms of contrast, and all the features are clearly visible. Okay, input image was dark and was of low contrast. So this is the application of the spatial enhancement techniques. So in this lecture, we have looked at composite Laplacian masks, how to perform filtering on images, unsharp masking and high bush filtering, first derivative gradient operators, and then combining all these spatial enhancement methods to obtain the enhancement. So this marks the end of spatial domain enhancement methods. In the next lecture, we'll learn about frequency domain enhancement. See you at the next lecture. Thank you.